Yo, yo, yo. All right. What is good? Yo, yo, yo. All right, guys. We got episode 8 today of the podcast. We are going to be hanging out with the founder of Samurai Saga, as well as with 64 World. And then we have our co-host, Joe Boy. So we are going to get into the stage right now. Welcome them in. All right. So we have you guys here on stage. You got to accept the thing to come up. What is good? All right. We have everybody here. Let's go. Joe Boy's eating. Bro got his DoorDash. Alright, yeah, looks like we're all good. We are here. We're all set up. We got set up beforehand because usually it takes a while to get everybody on and inside here. Joe Boy, you can come up and stage. You should be able to. Can you guys hear me? Look at that. We got technical difficulties already.
Yo.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Let's go.
Sorry, I got kicked out of the stage, or did we switch chats?
We moved to stage.
I think we switched chats.
Yep. So, Jian, if you want to accept the invite to come onto the stage. Does he hear us? Maybe. Maybe not. Alright, let me see here. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Bum, 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 bum.
Okay. Let's use this for a little bit. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, what's going on here? Alright. Let me tag him here. There we go. And then 64, you're gonna get your camera rolling.
Everything okay, Ghost Cat?
Yeah, we're good. You can hear me, right? Can you not hear me in VC? Is Discord tweaking? I'm gonna. Okay, wow. I don't know why Discord does that.
Andy's gone. Andy's back.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, I can now. Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all.
Dude, what the heck? This whole time. I don't know.
That's why I was just like, "Are you okay, Ghost Cat?"
Nah, the Discord tweaks like that a lot. I don't know why. People don't hear me when I start stages. Jian, if you go into Discord here, you could accept the request to talk on stage.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, he left. Here, accept the request again. There you go.
All right.
We are good. Let's go. And then we got 64 World here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here, bud.
Were you gonna have your camera on?
Yeah, I'm like 5-ish.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Just getting the kids sorted.
All right, guys. We're good to go now. We got Jian here from Samurai Saga. We have 64 World, an awesome Web3 content creator. And then my co-host, Blospeh. We usually start with like some introductions. So each episode will do that. So if you guys are getting tired of intros for these episodes, just skip it. I don't care. But yeah, so I could start off here. I've been doing Web3 content for about 2 years now. I love the space. It's been pretty awesome. We've had some ups and downs along the way, but I like to focus mainly on gameplay clips for a lot of these games and just teaching people about the tech and how to use it, how to manage their accounts, assets, and whatnot. Streaming is a big part of the content that I do as well. And obviously with this podcast. So yeah, it's a little bit about me, what I do. Joe Boy, do you want to give a little intro about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Blospeh. I also mainly stream Web3 games for the last couple years, maybe a little bit more. Dabble a little bit with the content. Need to go a little bit better with that, but yeah, mainly I just really love streaming the Web3 games.
Let's
You're really
go.
good at playing the games too.
I was surprised I was doing so good at the playtest.
Bro,
Like, you just kicked everyone's ass, and we're the creators.
yeah, you were
And I
killing
don't
it,
normally
dude.
use mouse and keyboard either, so I was pretty surprised with myself.
Amazing.
Game
Alright,
felt great though.
Yeah, Jian, do you want to give an intro on what you do, the project that you're building?
Yeah, Jian, co-founder of Samurai Saga. I wish Dino would be here. He's the artist that did all the artwork for Samurai Saga.
Oh, sick.
Maybe on the next one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so we're creating a really fun free-to-play game that's inherently blockchain-based. All the characters are blockchain-based. All the armors, weapons, loots, all that stuff is going to be on-chain. So we cannot delete anything that people earn. The idea is to create the best combat mechanism in this space, which I don't think exists. There's not a lot of great games, to be honest, in the Web3 space. So we just want to
Yeah.
make like really fun, amazing games that rival the quality of Mortal Kombat.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about it. 64, you good to do an intro right now? Hey, let's go.
64 Worlds. It was a Web 2 streamer before. Been in Web 3 now, like 4 years full time. Yeah, it was a smooth transition. I was streaming prior to moving into Web 3. I was streaming Web 2. So when it came into the space, it was like right before the big boom in like 2021. And then I noticed there wasn't like many people streaming, in that sense. Bryson was doing the Axie stuff. Outside of that though, so came into the space, NFT stuff pretty heavy, and then kind of realized like, oh, nobody's doing the streaming stuff, so started the stream back up. We were focused mainly on NFT projects, and we'd bring different like co-founders on, different devs. So we had former congresswoman on giving out Solana NFTs. Like we grew like had an like explosion of growth from that kind of style of content format, where we went from like a 60 CCV stream to a 400 CCV stream, 1200 something a month. And so held that for like almost 2 years, and kind of dialed things back, and then took a new reapproach with the stream to focus solely on the Web3 aspect of things. Kind of really got sick of just shelling NFTs constantly.
Yeah.
So came with a new game plan and attacked the Web3 gaming side of things, and just been on a roll since then.
Yeah. It's been quite a year.
Yeah.
Like last year specifically, it was crazy, dude.
Dude, last year, what are you saying?
It was kind of rough, honestly. Not gonna
It
lie.
was a tough one. Yeah, it
But
was
yeah.
the closest. Last year was the closest I ever came to leaving this, to be honest.
I was pretty close. I mean, the end of the year, I mean, I had a pretty bad year in general, but like right at the end of the year, the last month of the year, 2023, my PC got hacked and all like my Solana wallets got drained. So it kind of sucked, right before everything boomed and everybody had their ups. Like it would have been my up, but
Bro.
stuff happens. Yeah, it
I feel you,
happens.
man. Like my whole wallet got jacked too, so it's like I clicked on that link. I lost all 5 pudgies. Like I had the wizard
Oh,
hats, so you know I probably lost like over $1 million of value today. I could have sold them all.
holy dude, that's
Yeah,
insane.
that hurts.
Yeah,
The space
that's
is crazy. We need
it
better
is.
security. It's
Uh,
crazy how easy it is to get hacked, right? Look at Pump.fun. Takes
Dude,
like
I know. Insane. I don't know anybody who's full time in the space who hasn't been drained at least once.
yeah, it's
Or
not if
hacked,
it
or
happens, it's when it happens.
yeah, no, it actually
Scary.
is. And I had a major hack in 2022 as well, where they hit us with a network hack, and basically like they overloaded one of the ports in my PC, and it was like a full network hack. So like any device that was connected was infected. It was my
Holy,
PCs down to, bro, it literally got into the Bluetooth of my car. Like it was the most insane shit. It was like my phone, Victoria's phone, everybody that there's 6 apartments in this building, everybody's device. It was I had to get the police involved. My Weeble got drained. They
damn.
cover like up to, it was like at that point it was 200K in losses though. So Weeble was, shout out Weeble. Yo, Weeble actually was like one of the best people to work with. When like feds got involved, it was
holy,
actually insane. So yeah, it's like you said, it's a matter of, you know, when it happens, not if,
yeah.
you know. Sucks that we gotta go
It's
through that though.
it's crazy, and it's funny because I mean, I have I have a Ledger device, right? It's a hardware wallet, but we're always talking about how we have ownership with Web3, but we have to be so careful with our seed phrases, and people are like, "Oh, dude, not your keys, not your assets," but at the same time, it's like the whole point of it is to own it. So yeah, we do need something better to protect people with that stuff. I
I
mean,
mean, like even if you saved your seed phrase somewhere, all you need to do is click on one link, and then they
yep,
still have access.
I
It
know.
yeah,
sense
yeah.
to me, like all this crazy passwords, and you still lose your stuff.
Right. But I mean, it'll get better. It's gotten a lot better than when it was when it
Yeah,
first started.
that's where any new industry, this stuff happens. I think it's just a matter of time. Someone
Yeah.
innovates.
Oh yeah, I let people know that
It
too.
sucks. We're the guinea pigs, you know.
Right.
Literally.
Hey, we're making the space better.
It's true
Feedback.
too. That's
Uh,
true. It has gotten a lot better than what it used to be. It used to be all these egotistical founders that had these closed loop communities, and they won't even talk to you. Like they think they're overlords above you. Fucking annoying,
yeah.
man. Like gaming is the only space where I can talk to like all these guys, like even Shrapnel and tons of like these amazing founders. They're so open to talking to you. It's so
Yeah.
Yeah.
refreshing.
No, it's amazing, dude, to be able to have these connections with people. We were talking about that in the last episode with um, founder of Wagme. Frick, why am I so bad on names on the spot?
God. God.
Scott, stupid, I'm an idiot.
You even
Scott,
said it wrong after you told me,
nah,
Scott.
shh, don't tell
Scott
him,
Herman.
don't tell
Scott
him, bro, don't tell him. I'm bad with the names. Everybody knows that. But yeah, it's really cool to be able to talk with you guys. You learn a lot. I mean, I say like the games that are being built are going to be so good when they're fully released because you have that feedback and that connection with the community where you're getting their feedback like one on one. So the stuff that are going to be built and finished is going to be insane. 'Cause people
Yeah.
complain about that in Web 2. Like nobody tries to even open tickets. They're going to be like, well, who's going to even see it? I mean, it's true. It's just the connection with these projects is just non-existent. Very
Yeah, I like the space. I think it makes live ops way better too. Like when we do launch, because we're getting real time feedback, and the fact that guys are actually telling us, like you guys are telling us, what you want to see while you're playing the game. And you know, during the last play session, which was very long. I think if I didn't have to go, we would have played for 3 hours straight.
yeah.
But
Easy.
but
Yeah.
the feedback was appreciated. Like we were taking notes in the background and sort of implementing a lot of what you guys have mentioned for the next coming builds.
Yeah, it's exciting. So I had a question in mind. I wanted to ask Blosive 64 World for Samurai Saga. What games have you played or in Web 2 that you liked that you see Samurai Saga kind of taking that same genre or like step? Like what games do you like prior to this one that make you like Samurai
Naraka,
Saga?
Blade Point, Naraka Blade Point. Is that the name of it? Oh, let me check. I believe it's.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one before. Never
But
played
yeah,
it.
Naraka Blade Point. It's it's the closest I can get in terms of. It would be like Naraka would be like a blend of Saga and Bushi. If you
Okay.
took Samurai Saga and Bushi, put
Yeah.
them together, it would be like kind of similar to Naraka Blade Point. But that was the one the other day when I was trying to think of the name. Um, yeah, and it's right here. Put the
Yeah,
name.
it is. It
Yeah.
is pretty similar. The characters are pretty hot though.
Yeah, no facts. I honestly enjoy Saga more. But yeah, no, Naraka would be like probably that's why I like Saga so much though, because it's very unique in the sense that like, in the space we have a lot of clones,
Oh yeah.
in the terms so like we were talking about the other day, during the playtest, so some of the biggest games now, Seraph, it's Diablo 2 clone,
Yeah.
Nine Heroes, it's a Overwatch clone, so Saga isn't really a clone of anything, It's very unique in the sense that we haven't really seen it before in the space, and
Yeah.
I'm
I
really
think
excited to see where it heads
yeah,
towards.
that's why I wanted to ask you guys that because it takes a lot of forms from different games. It's not exactly a copy of one game or one genre. So like for me, Samurai Saga is taking a lot of elements from like Warframe. I feel like
Yep.
because
Yep.
I played a lot of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online, and Elder Scrolls Online never like scratched that itch for me of what I wanted for a game like that. Um, and it also feels like um, what's that one that just came out? That other one that's kind of like it's a really popular one. Kai Cenat just like beat it or did a
Elden
boss.
Elden
Scroll.
Ring.
Elden
Elden
Ring,
Ring.
yeah, it feels a lot like Elden Ring,
My
but
bad.
like multiplayer focused. Because I liked Elden Ring, but I want to play with friends and with people. It's just the multiplayer in that game sucks. So
Yeah.
it took a lot of like it feels like that to me, and I love it. Like that's why I love that type of gameplay and the fact that it's multiplayer. And you're gonna have these different forms of like PVE or PvP within the game. It's really cool. So I like that about that's what I like about Samurai Saga compared to the games that I liked before it. But
Yeah, I
it's
think
not.
it's a
Yeah,
different it's a different build structure too. Like when you're building for single player, there's a lot of things that you can add that you cannot add to multiplayer. For example, like if you wanted to do Mortal Kombat like combat finishers, it works if it's one v one or a single player mode. But in multiplayer, the complexity is how do you figure out how do you add these combos in a very fast paced environment. So I believe like our team is doing a fantastic job trying to implement all that.
yeah,
Uh,
it's amazing. Blosive, did you have any games that you played before that you felt were kind of referenced in Samurai Saga?
No, I think it's pretty unique of its own. I mainly played a lot of like first person shooters, a lot of COD,
Okay.
Halo,
Yeah,
some Fortnite. So anything that's multiplayer, team
yeah,
deathmatch, battle royale, I'm in for it. But I love the fighting style, with some
yeah.
swords and weapons instead of like guns.
Well, you mean I know the finishers. I mean, the finisher moves are going to be a hot thing because we have them in Call of Duty already. I mean, you play Warzone, it's like there's a bunch of players, but you could still do a finisher move if you
Oh
go
yeah,
behind a player and you do the melee attack, which I think is pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah,
so having that in a game like this is for sure going to be pretty awesome because you don't have a lot of that mechanic in a lot of multiplayer games. I think the only one I've seen
That's
really
true.
is Call of Duty, and then obviously Mortal Kombat, but that's a platform fighter. So yeah, it's exciting, dude. There's
it is. It's super fun to build this too and to see like all the hard work come to life. there's a lot more finishers that are actually animated that we haven't implemented into the game itself. Like, the way we're working is because a lot of games rush to market to try to prove that they have a game, but the problem is that when you start doing that, you may get a lot of flack because you're putting out like unfinished product out there just to get some hype to, let's say a token, right? But then again, if you at the end of the day you look at it from the bigger picture, when you drive this, who's really winning at the end of the day? Because if you're having a bad product and the new people coming in, the old believers believe that, okay, you're going to build something great, but you're rushing and there's lots of bugs. The new people coming in, they're not that interested. So there's this whole pressure to relinquish all their investments so that they can move on in life because they're sick and tired of waiting for
Yeah.
nonsense, and you're getting all this negative feedback, so it creates a lot of panic. It's almost easier to come out of the gate with something really strong that people are addicted to. That way, like, even because I know in Web3 it's very heavily focused on token. That way that even the token itself would have a chance at least to survive and thrive and hit
Yeah.
those moonshots multiple times as opposed to just one time.
Yeah, no, that's
You
true.
notice, like, you see a lot of the games that are dead, right? Today, they're no longer their tokens are kind of dead, and they sort of have a game, like, even if it's like, I forgot what's the name of this other game. It was like a clone of Super Smash Bros, like a cheaper version, right? Uh,
AI Arena. Is that
was
the
that
one? There's one that was like released in Web3 recently that was like a Smash Bros. Clone. It was called AI Arena.
I don't I don't
That's
recall, but someone showed me the charts, and I was like, this looks terrible. Like, why would you even want to drop the token this way?
Yeah, I feel like they just push it out.
yeah, a lot of projects that release token right now, you can't even use it for their game or anything in their project, which is like, why'd you
That's my
release
point. It's like your game sucks, and there's no way to use these tokens. What are they for?
yeah,
Is it for the founders to liquidate them and then make money off the public? Because
For
that
quick
doesn't help
hype.
the space, right? If we're trying to build the space and we're talking about onboarding, a lots of people into the Web3 space, it doesn't help when you're scamming everybody.
yeah. No, it's true. I've seen a lot of that. I think there's very few projects that you could actually use their token in the game. Like Star Atlas is one of them. Compete, you could actually use it to, you know, buy stuff off the market. And I think it's important to have that utility right off the bat when you release it, because then it just dies down super fast. I don't want to
Yeah,
mention projects,
exactly.
but I know there's a big one that I'm like, okay, you guys had this and you can't use it in the game or on your website or anywhere. Like, at least to buy merch, I think that's a huge one. If you could use a token to buy merch, I think that's pretty cool. Like being
Yeah,
able to
I
earn
agree with that
earn
too.
something in game or by staking and then being able to buy like at least their merch. I saw that you guys had a merch, but we can't click on anything. Are we gonna get merch soon for Samurai Saga?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're planning to redo the website. We're actually trying to finish it this weekend because we have a couple of initiatives, alignments with certain partners that'll drive lots of downloads to the game. Next week, we should be starting a Steam wish list so people can actually start at and then join the wait list on Steam.
Yeah,
Um, but again, like, I'm in no rush for that because at the end of the day, like you said, right, there's very little use of a token at this moment because if there's no trading volume from a gameplay perspective, like, at the end of the day, we're a game, right? So it's not, if we're launching a meme coin, it's a different story. You can use the meme coin for merch and everything under the sun, or buy hookers if you want. But here we're building a game. Like, at
yeah,
the end of the day, it's still the game. So why focus on all these other things and not focus on the game,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. We do have licensing deals for the merch, which is going to hit retail stores. We have stuff like this. We have these card games that are, pretty fun, and we're going to sell these card games on
Let's
Amazon.
Oh,
go. That's awesome.
is that the trading cards that says coming soon on the website?
Yeah, it's actually
Oh,
live. It's we have them.
Oh,
The production house is actually printing them, right?
oh, that's
So
awesome.
those are going to
Let's
be going
go.
into Target. But at the end of the day, like, we could set all this up and tell people what's on a website. You can claim them, but they have to use them, right?
Yeah.
So if they buy these packs and we don't have tournaments set up where people can actually play them in real life, then it doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, community members could sort of set up and play themselves, right? But then how many of them actually take the initiative to do it? We need leadership. We need us as founders and management to go lead the charge and create that momentum and create these tournaments so that it can stay consistent, and then allocate heads of different regions, let's say a head of New York and head of Boston, head of California, to lead these games, because you need that to happen. It's super important. I don't think if you just put the game out there, people are going to magically play it, right? Even Fortnite, how much advertisement have they put out there to
Yeah.
make people fall in love with their product?
They're still
And
advertising. It's
yeah,
it's actually surprising to me that they still have to like advertise, put these videos, these trailers. I mean, they're still putting in the work
that's right.
really to put their game out. Because if they
Right.
didn't, players wouldn't get excited about stuff. You still gotta put that in.
Yeah, it's
So
not necessarily like people playing because they want to win $10,000 at the end of the month, right? I think that puts a very different perspective into this space, and it's not for the gamers when you start doing that. People aren't gaming so they can win $10,000. I think in at the end of the day, like, why do you and I play games? Does Call of Duty pay you? Of course not, right? You play it because it's fun and you can hang out with friends, and then you guys could set up your own little battles
yeah,
inside Call of Duty. But they do market as well, right? They market it in terms of a different feeling that you would get by adding all these constant elements that surprises you. I remember when it first came out, I'm like, wow, I could play like a soldier. I could feel like the soldier, right? It's not because I could win $100,000.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I see. Yeah, there's a lot of Web3 projects that are doing a lot of tournaments right now for money, and honestly, I feel
Yeah.
like they should put that towards development.
Yeah,
I think they should be.
make the game ultra fun and ultra addictive,
Yeah,
and money will be there. The money will come.
Yeah.
Very
People
yeah,
are just playing the games for the airdrops, I feel, and then after
yeah,
that, they don't play it no more.
Yeah, after that, it's gone. They don't have any more players left, so you
yeah.
It's
manipulate
just a
them.
bunch of airdrop hype around a lot of
Yeah,
them.
and then you start to attract these dudes that are like solely just here to win tournaments, and it's super sweaty, and it's kind of like, okay, I kind of don't want to even play because I'm just gonna get murked each round.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I feel like there's different
I
ways
feel
to
that.
incentivize gameplay other than these tournaments. I mean, I do tournaments all the time. I do them because I like to organize stuff, and it's
Yeah,
fun. Um, I mainly focus on just people. Just I find different ways to do gameplay, so different ways of playing the game, so people can like actually have fun, and everybody has a equal chance to win. But I don't know. I think there's multiple ways to go about advertising for people to
there's
play.
different ways to go about it. I think at the end of the day, you have to treat this like it's a game, yes. Also, you have to treat it like a business, right? What happens when you run out of money to give to the public?
Yeah,
Where's the money coming from, right? Because they're not buying your merch because you put $100,000 prize out there. Why do people buy merch? Why do you buy Pokemon merch? Because you fucking love the product. You grew up with it. It's nostalgia, the feeling for you, man. It makes you feel good. That's why you're buying. That's why you're buying what you're buying. Why do you buy a Rolex watch, right? Because you
yeah,
bought the Rolex watch partially because it's you can liquidate and you can get cash, but it's a status. It's like, I bought a Rolex watch. Oh, look at me! Like, I'm a cool dude walking
yeah,
around. Right. So that's how it is. It always works that way. And the fact that you can liquidate the next day on a Rolex watch is because they built that feeling in the mass market. And when enough people are joining your product, then and only then it creates this other market that's a secondary market where people can buy these things and hold for the sake of making money. Unless you reach mass adoption, that's never going to happen.
yeah,
And that's why Samurai Saga unique is I saw the potential of it since day one. is that if you can make someone fall in love with something, we can branch this IP to many sectors, right? We're already having the script written by a scriptwriter that also wrote Doom Patrol and Stranger Things for Netflix. We're gonna pitch them original episodes, right? We're gonna go and do original merch. We're gonna go create an original game. We're gonna, everything about us is original. You can't scale something that's a clone. Right?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, "Well, what the fuck is this? A Pokemon clone? Why would I
Dude,
buy this shit? I'll just buy the
you,
original Pokemon.
yeah, you
Look
see
what
that
I
a
have. Look at
lot.
Pokemon, bro."
And bro, even to touch on that real quick, like look at Power World. It came out. Pokemon clone was one of it broke Steam for a week, and now it's the most irrelevant game in the world. You know what I mean? Everyone back to Pokemon because this, like you said, the clones can't scale like the originals can.
Yeah, and it's all hype, and once hype dies, dude, so fast. Um, but
I think hype is good. Hype is good for marketing. It's a marketing
yeah,
tactic.
but like
Right?
the wrong kind of hype, you know, because if somebody is calling it this and that, you're not gonna last. Um, I think it's really cool what you guys are. It's kind of like WAGMI. They're building an entire huge IP out of their project. It's a lot, dude. I mean, it's a lot that you guys are doing. So it's incredible that these big projects are making something unique in Web3. I think it's going to be huge for the space.
Yeah,
Um,
it's work. It's a work for sure. For the longer in the short term, it's not very profitable. Where everybody's starving in the short term, but that's good. We lose some weight, and then in the long term, we'll get fat. That's all good.
the long term build. Um, I had a question about your current characters. What is the plan for? Are you guys going to constantly be releasing characters? Because with Web3, you have these NFT collections that people build for their project, and it's kind of like, okay, this is the one and done collection. But I mean, you're building a game, so you have to be releasing characters, cosmetics, right? I mean, you can't just keep that one collection and expect people to buy in at $1,000 in 10 years, right? So what is your plan for that?
So the first year, a year and a half, I would say it was very trial and error. We put out, really badass art. Dino actually spent 4.5 months drawing all these things by hand before AI took over. He was telling me every day, like, "Gosh, I wish AI was back there back then, right? It didn't exist." So we just threw it out there to see what happens, to see if anyone would buy into our story of futuristic samurais with like a historical twist to it, and it worked, right?
Yeah.
And the plan evolved over time. It didn't veer off too much from the original roadmap, but it sort of gave us an understanding of where we need to go. Obviously, we have 33,000 NFTs out there that's sold, which is quite impressive, I believe.
Well,
It goes to
yeah.
show you, original Japanese-like characters are very hot in demand, kind of like a Suki. It's just hot. You know, and we want to deliver the original promise, which means that all your characters should be playable in the game first. And along the way, we'll try to add more characters as the game expands. So, we do have the kaiju drop, which we haven't dropped yet, the monsters. And eventually that would lead to breeding, which would lead to little shinobis, like futuristic shinobis. And then there would be like teen samurais that have like various different abilities. Then down the road, as we continue to expand the maps that we have, we can add like flying dragons and horses, and any kind of
Let's
devices that
go.
well, I'll give you a little sneak peek, right? The map that we're building, or the maps that we're building, are really, really huge. You can technically fit 500 players or more into the upcoming maps,
Yeah.
but we don't want to do that because it is a skill based, very strategic. We want people to have surprise elements, right? It's not just melee in a big open pond, and then eventually that gets boring. What makes the game fun is there's lots of challenges, and it's always different, right?
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is eventually, like, not everyone's always going to be on the PC playing the game. People have lives. You got to go to work. You got to do a lot of things, right? So, but streamers love to play games every day. Eventually, our NPCs could match who you are, like Bloseph, right? Match your personality, how you talk, and beyond. So, characters will speak on your behalf. Like we do stuff like that with AI, but at the same time, we use AI in the maps, which means the maps would change. It'll go from day to night. It'll
Yeah.
go from rain. You'll have rain, thunderstorms, rocks falling in different places. So that's what I meant. Like short term, yeah, we could push out the game and probably hype it up a little bit, but in the long term, we want to be one of the best Web3 games that's ultimately extremely fun to play with. Even if you're playing alone or you're playing just with two friends, like you don't need large groups of people to play. Um,
Yeah.
and then we want to have different characters with different abilities because it'll never get mundane and boring. Because imagine like you're the same character, and if you look at, I'm not going to name names because I don't like to shit talk people. But if you look at some of the games out there that are like on unreleased, right? And you take the sword and you start swinging, shitty graphics, and run around. It looks the same. You do the same moves. There's really nothing different. And when there's nothing different, even if they change the map, it still feels the same. So eventually you get bored and you drop off. So how do you solve that? You make it different. You make it different surprise elements. All the weapons have different moves. As you guys picked up the hammer and you picked up the dual blades and you picked up the single blades, right? They all have different moves, right? You have the shuriken, but in the future, what if you have bows and arrows of different calibers, right? They shoot differently, and you want to add all that into a big map where you can use all these weapons, because right now it's a little bit difficult to obviously use certain weapons. If someone has a stronger weapon, they can kill you, so you have to run.
Yeah.
But what if the map's bigger and you have different types of weapons, you have different types of finishers, it makes it a lot more dynamic, right? And you have different characters as well. It makes that a lot more dynamic as well.
Yeah, I'm excited. We did play test a week ago the game. We were talking about doing, or 64 was talking about doing like weekly or bi-weekly game tests. When you guys have like little updates here and there. So, are we gonna have something new the next time we play?
Yeah, I think biweekly is great, because it takes time to compile a new build, and sometimes it drives the devs nuts when they compile, and then there's a bug, and then those guys want to fix it, and now they're not sleeping because you're like rushing them to get the build right. So I think 2 weeks, every 2 weeks is great. It'll give them enough time to debug, because we do have like QA to do it right after, and there's always issues building a game. So this is pretty exciting, to be honest, working with you guys. This is the first. You guys are like the first group that's in this samurai. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, like everyone that's listening, this is the team right here. That's the first team that's streaming.
I'm
yeah,
excited.
dude, it's an honor
I had a
though,
blast
honestly.
play testing.
Oh, we know
It's
you did.
crazy
We
too.
know you did.
Bro was
Bloseph.
going off, but like from that, bro, people that I didn't even know were tuned in. There was a like, I
like-
actually, bro, I didn't even know until the Samurai Saga Discord had pointed it out. Where they were like, "Oh shit, we have over 100. Oh, we have now. There's over 200 viewers. There's over 300 viewers on Twitter, on X. So we had at one point over like 500 viewers on X watching, and I had, before we even finished the playtest, I had Justin from One Kin DMing me like text right to my phone, bro. What is this samurai game? Like, we need to get them on our platform. Like, they want to get Samurai Saga partner. Like, he wants to partner Saga with One Kin and get them on the One Kin platform. Then, like, bro, for everybody from Fallacy, anybody who was not a part of that test has hit me up and was like, please let me be part of the next. So it was pretty crazy to see that FOMO like happened so fast with so many people.
And that goes
And
back to
so-
what Jian was saying. It's like pure gameplay gets people excited. It wasn't like $100,000 that we were winning during that stream, you know? Hey, I
It
want to
was
win
fun,
some money.
though.
Yeah.
It was the fun. It was the like camaraderie, the brotherhood. It was everybody bouncing off each other,
Yeah.
having fun, talking shit. Just like the energy in that playtest was phenomenal. It was through the roof. So like anybody that wasn't there was like, damn, bro, I'm missing out on not just an amazing game, but like, it seems like to be an amazing community that's backing the game, and there's really good
Yeah.
vibes. And so it was just like the whole package was there. And I was really excited because we had 20, 30 people playing at one point, so
Yeah, it was a lot for not for an
that was pretty
unmarketed game test.
Yeah, 39 recurring players at one time. I believe.
Yes, dude, let's go.
And actually blocked them from joining. They would have made it lag like crazy. So very.
Yeah, I didn't experience much lag at all.
Yeah,
I was
kudos,
surprised,
dude.
too. I mean, this was super optimized.
I had no lag. Where was the server at? Do
The
you know?
servers in Europe,
What?
in Germany. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
No way. No shot, dude.
yeah, it is.
No way.
I was surprised. I was
Dude,
like, yeah, this. Is gonna be
I'm in the
fucking weird.
West Coast. I had like 11 ping. What kind of
Yeah,
servers
same
you
on the
guys are
East
rocking over there, bro?
Well,
What the
our
heck?
server is relatively cheap. This is probably one of the cheapest test servers that we bought.
Dude, I
fuck with
had
it.
like no
That's
lag.
crazy.
That's insane with the amount of people too. I mean, it wasn't a lot
a
by
lot of that has
standards,
to do
but
with, like a lot of that has to do with devs too. Our devs are guys that publish games to the market and Steam successfully, so they know exactly what they're doing.
yeah,
The reason, some of the reasons why the game lags is because their assets in the game are so not optimized. Because some people hire cheap dev houses just to push out a game there, and
yeah,
that's the name of the game in this space. Unfortunately, it's very few people are focusing on hiring quality people. It's more about speed to market for the sake of again, for the sake of a token drop. We are a little different. We're building something to go to market so that it's sustainable, so that people actually stick around and play. So every single animation that you see is completely optimized. All the movements, the characters, right? That has a lot to do with the burden on the server. So if we're gonna expect thousands of people playing concurrently, we need everything to be down to the T in terms of optimization.
yeah. We have a question here from YouTube from Mr. Sanchez. I think it'd be cool if we all answered it, gave our opinion on this. It's a big question, but essentially, you're saying that a lot of games, Web3 games, come with a big splash, basically like hype, and then they die down pretty fast, which is true. And he wanted to ask Jian what Samurai Saga will bring to the table that's different. And then he said, what do we think is needed? Is the needed event to hit the inflection point that will thrust Web3 games into full mainstream acceptance and adoption? I think we could all answer that and give our opinions. For me,
Yeah,
I think.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll let you go.
Okay.
I'll go last.
For me, I just like all of these games are still in development. There's no Web3 game that's fully complete right now, so we're in testing phase. That's something I like to do, and I want to make clear to everyone that these games I'm testing to give the feedback so they can build a great game. I think we'll be able to judge a game and Web3 when there's a project that's fully launched and has all of its features like completed, like a full out release, like, all right, here we're releasing the game, just how like a regular game drops. So I think we'll be able to judge Web3 and how people adopt it and accept it at that point. I don't think we're there yet. So I think there is going to be a lot of hype and then die downs right now with the way games they're developed at this stage. But yeah, I think we just have to wait, honestly, to get people's real opinions on it all. Joe boy,
Yeah. What's up, Shady? Sorry, just wanted to throw that out there.
So,
let's
sorry,
go.
what was I had to leave Discord and come back because everybody, I couldn't hear anybody.
Let's go. Discord rugged blows.
That's the second time it did it to me, this thing, so I think I missed a little bit of the beginning of that.
So I think basically the second half is, what do we think is needed? Is the needed event for the inflection point that will thrust Web3 games into full mainstream acceptance and adoption?
Oh, yeah, a playable game. Like you were saying, a playable game
A game.
that you can play for more than an hour without getting irritated.
Yeah, yeah, and it's important. In
A lot of
I,
games I'm forcing myself to play because there's like an airdrop going on or something, so I'm just like pushing through it.
yeah, I think that's just for people within Web3 to get excited about like airdrops and the money that you can make. But 64 world, what do you think?
So people don't really like my take on this, but I don't think that Web3 gaming. I think we have a bit of time still before Web3 gaming is accepted like on a level where like web. I think it's gonna take a game like GTA. I think it's gonna take a major game that already is established to integrate some form of blockchain technology into the game before we see like true mass adoption on a level that like people are talking about, where like Halo, Call of Duty, things like that, where it's like, not taboo in a way. um I think Web3 gaming is growing, and I think continue growing, especially with the development like Saga and original games that are not just clones of other games. But I think the catalyst is going to be one of these major publishers incorporating. Like GTA would honestly, like GTA 6 would be the perfect game for that. But I think it's going
It
to take,
would.
a big game to kind of integrate blockchain tech with open arms. And I still think it'll go through a lot of trials and errors. I think Web3 gaming is growing at a great pace. I think we have a time for mass adoption. So
Yeah.
I totally agree with 64 on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, gamers, that I tell them about Web3 and they're like, that sounds like scam.
I think Roblox
But
is
I
thinking
totally
about
agree with that.
implementing that. We'll see a lot of backlash for sure. I think the first Web 2 game to adopt it is going to see tons of backlash, and it's going to be really hard for them not to take it back or like to keep it, because I feel like as soon as they get backlash, you're going to be like, oh, okay, never mind. I don't know. You'd have to be really strong. It'd have to be a really strong, will-powered project to implement that into their successful, games.
yeah.
It will.
It would be like, I know that MapleStory is pretty much killing off their in-game gold economy right now because they plan on going
Yep.
full Web3. So
Yep.
I think we're getting closer. And I think, even MapleStory, that game has massive DAU, and like they have crazy amount. They've been around for so long. It's like
Yeah.
another case of like OSRS type stuff. But I'd love to see like how that goes, because
Yeah.
if they can implement it successfully, even semi-successfully, that will definitely get other mainstream and Web2 publishers kind of
Yeah.
looking more towards blockchain tech.
Yeah. At least to start looking.
Avalanche is right behind them too, so they have support.
Yeah, actually, that's very true.
Yeah. Jian, what do you think about this now?
I don't know, man. Like I haven't seen any Web3. Like you said, there's no completed game yet. So we have to see everyone speculating at this point, right? People all have their opinions, which I respect. But at the end of the day, man, like nobody really has the answers unless you prove it. Right? Let's just do something, and
Yeah.
those are the building blocks. And unfortunately, there's going to be some people that get skinned alive. It's just part of how it works, right? It could be us that gets skinned alive. We may not be around in 2 years, but we're just gonna have to try our best. And the way I'm working it is I'm working on a different angle, kind of like the Pudgy angle. Pudgy obviously has more capital, so they're executing faster than us. We're still in the round, like we're still trying to get to that stage, but
Yeah.
my agenda is to build lots of cash flow for this original IP, right? When we have the trading cards, people are going to be buying those. That brings revenue to the company, and then if Netflix or Hulu or anybody accepts us, that brings another stream to the company. So it's how do you take one original asset class, which is our IP, and spread it everywhere simultaneously while not losing your focus on building the game.
Yep. It's a lot. I mean, you guys, I feel like there's, like you mentioned, Pudgy. They have a lot more that they could do. I think you see the difference with a project or a person that does something because they can, and between a project and person that does something because they want to or because they're passionate about it. Because it's completely different, right? That the final product will be completely different with someone who does it because they can or because they have the money to. Like, oh, I'm just gonna do it because I could. Between someone who's like, I'm gonna do it no matter what, with or without the money, I'm building something great. You know, I think a good example of that is with what Sean Murray did with No Man's Sky, right? I mean, he that pretty much was a failure, but he pushed through and ended up delivering a really great product in the end because he was passionate about it and he built it despite the negative and the drawback in funds. So
Yeah, that's how it usually is. I mean, like if you look at like some of the greatest companies that were ever built, including Tesla, it was pushing to the point where you almost would lose it all, and you have to take those risks to make it happen, right? I could have easily folded Samurai and left. We started as four co-founders. Now just the two of us left. I mean, I could have easily just be like, fuck this. I'll start a new thing and we'll have a clean slate. But we pushed through and look at where we are today, right? We have like the guy that did our animation or does our animations continuing to do it is the same guy that did all the action for Fall Guy for Ryan Gosling. Right? We have a great team. We have amazing people that pour their hearts and souls into this project. It's just a matter of like you said, pushing through and having the grit to withstand all the negative blowbacks. I've gotten called a scammer. I've gotten flooded everywhere. People think people think I'm an asshole. People don't believe that we're going to build the project to
yeah,
where we need to build the project. So what? Who cares? It's just noise.
yeah,
But you give it enough time, then folks would see, which people are starting to see. Look, it's not what you said it was. We are
yeah,
actually topping things that are blowing people's minds, and folks actually enjoy our product, right? Enjoy our game, enjoy the trade, even the trading cards. Every single play, they're all 200 plus people that came to the play test on the trading cards want to know where to buy the packs. So automatically, we already know we have something good.
yeah. No, it really is, dude. The fact that people are excited off of a few gameplay streams that we did last week, it's really, really awesome to see. I think that should be the number one important thing that these projects should focus on, though, at the end of the day, because they're putting out a lot of money in tournaments. It's a lot, and it's just gonna die down once they stop.
Yeah, they are putting lots of money. It's kind of crazy. Gaming is also very expensive. So to anyone who's wanting to get into gaming, just know you're in it for whoever's listening, building a gaming company now. Hang tight, man. You're in it for a
Let's
wild ride.
go. Let's go. Yeah, I'm actually building out my project, Moondance, which is what we're doing the podcast under. Um, I am starting off with a game. It's going to be a platform fighter for the collection that I have minting right now. But I mean, it is hard. I already had a lot of respect for developers and these founders, but now that I'm doing it, making all this stuff, dude, making models and like actual characters for these collections is a big deal. I think people take that for granted in Web3 because I've said this a lot, but when a regular game comes out, you probably have like 5 to 10 characters that they make for the game, right? At first. But for a Web3 game, when you're making it, these projects are making collections of like thousands or 10,000 characters, different variations. It's a lot of work for just that. And then you got to implement all the animations and everything. Like, it's crazy. Like, just like pixels alone, like all those collections, all those different layers and variations. It's tough. It's hard work. So,
But you don't want to know how much we spent on our character.
Dude, there's so much detail on your character collections. It's insane. I'm looking at some of them. I'm like, bro, how are those gonna be 3D models? And like, we saw some of them in the playtest, and they look incredible. Like,
Well, there's a lot more we have in the background that we haven't imported to the game yet. But yeah, but our initially our animated animation team and 3D modeling team is massive. Like it would slow down a little bit now on the expensive side on that because we have the core base characters made.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean like it was just a lot of people.
I can imagine, dude. That's a lot. You guys have a lot of variation. The characters look so cool, though. A very unique character collection. I think it stands out a ton. Like you definitely can't really compare it to a lot of stuff. And call it like a clone because it's very unique. I am excited about the kaiju collection though. I love anything with kaiju. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, so
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. It plays a huge story in the whole Samurai Saga umbrella. I
yeah.
think like we're gonna start maybe I don't know if people read scripts, but we're gonna start releasing you know some of the script that we've written on the storyline so people can understand where it's coming from. The way we're building it is there's no hero and there's no enemy, right?
Uh,
So it starts with the cyborg samurai, the emperor, which is me. I play the Emperor, and you can see that helmet in the back. That's actually my outfit for Comic Con.
What, you can wear that?
Yeah, I could actually. I have a
Oh
whole.
man, that's
It makes me
awesome.
look like the Emperor in the game. It's huge because if I put it on, I can't walk out the door because I won't fit. So I need to put it on at Comic Con. But it's basically the Emperor and the Emperor's ex-lover, right? Their planet's running out of resources and they need to go explore. They went to a different planet, and that brings me back to my childhood, where like Kerrigan from StarCraft, they went to a different planet, and um, for whatever reason, there's a hidden storyline that's yet to be told. I'm not going to spoil it. He went back home, and she got left behind and then she evolved of the planet with all the energy because the planet was immense amounts of energy that's like flowing in the ground, and she absorbed them. And she became part of the planet and started being the queen of the kaiju's. So her
whoa.
form evolved, and he went back and he thought she was dead. Um, Got remarried, built the Onabu Geisha army, which now they're ready to go, get into this new planet because they need that energy. They need the energy crystals to survive. And then they ended up in this planet trying to conquer it, and now they're fighting all these monsters. And then he ends up seeing her in the next trailer. We're gonna have that. He ends up seeing her, and then now this whole love-hate relationship goes on. So it's up to the player to choose who do you think is the enemy, who do you think is the hero.
Yeah,
Can
that's
I touch on that though, because that's actually something lacking. That's a huge, and it gets overlooked by everybody in this space at
lore.
times. Yes, dude.
Lore.
There's none of these games have lore. There's so many games,
Yes.
and so few of them actually have lore to them.
It's
Which is,
huge.
dude, I'm so excited. It actually gives it so much more personality. Yeah, no, the lore behind Saga is actually, when you really like dig in and learn about it, it's mind blowing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love the lore, dude. It I don't know. It makes it more than just a character or collection. Like it makes you want specific ones if it looks like the main character, if you want something different. It adds a whole other layer to it. Yeah, there's not a lot doing lore with really. The only ones that come to mind are Star Atlas, WAGMI, and Samurai Saga, but I don't think there's a lot of projects that have like a full fleshed out lore for everything. Yeah, another important thing
Yeah,
to make original IP to make it
yeah,
stand
that's
out.
what sells. That's what sells,
Uh,
right? Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. Got to catch them all. You start off as a little boy, and then now you're collecting these Pokemons, and then now you have like different characters that show up, and people want to play with those different characters now. It's the same thing. You tell a great story, and people fall in love with your IP, and you can build a great brand beyond just the game. The game would forever evolve, but how do you evolve the brand in itself?
Even freaking Fortnite has lore as confusing as it is. There's a lore
Yeah,
that
that
people
is true.
there's lore that people could follow. But it's not, I don't know. I feel like people overlook like what Fortnite is and what it's become a lot. They take it for granted, but they actually have a lot going for it. I mean, they've got the lore, they've got the gameplay, they've got, they market it right. There's a lot to take from it, a lot of good to take
They're
from
doing
it.
a great job. I
Oh,
think Fortnite's in a space of their own. I don't think there's going to be another Fortnite, right?
no.
So the next game that's going to hit has to be something that's like classic,
Yeah.
original. Remember when Halo 1 came out, right? Everyone,
Oh,
holy
yes, dude.
crap, what is this so different, right? It's not Resident Evil, it's not Call of Duty, it's fucking aliens in a different planet, and now you're like playing against. It's so easy to play too, and now you're just like playing, in this crazy unique story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. Um, if anybody in chat had any questions, feel free to put them in so we could read them. Also, thank you guys for tuning in. I do have a question. Maybe we could all answer it before Jian, but what do you guys feel about, or how do you guys feel about interoperability with like character NFTs? Explosive, do you want to start?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
Being able to use your character in game?
yeah, and like across IPs.
I think it's awesome. I think that's probably one of the best things that's happened in Web3 in like the last like year or so. Being able to see like a collection you are a holder of, like, and be able to play with it in game. That's why I
Yeah.
love Pixels too, because obviously
Oh,
have a few
Pixels
of
is
those
so
NFT avatars within the
yeah.
game.
They're doing so good at that too. Tons of
are.
characters. 64 World.
Oh, I love it. There was a huge part of what drew me to My Pet Hooligan originally was the fact that not only like did I have the chance to like brand this JPEG NFT, whatever you want to call it, this character, but I could actually like live it in the game. You know what I mean? So that's a huge thing with me. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest features in Web3 to have
Yeah, I
that.
agree with you.
I mean it's so
Bro.
new and like think about. I always think about this. I've seen this a lot of times between like Fortnite and Call of Duty. You'll have a creator that has a skin of the game, and you gotta buy that crap twice for essentially the
Bro,
same
no,
thing.
fact.
But
We
like,
had that chance, Ghost, me and you, and I think about it still to every day. I swear to God, when we were offered with bite, but what
oh,
was it?
dude,
They were like, "Do you guys want your individual characters made? We'll make each one of you, or do you want it just a group NGG character?" And we went with the fucking NGG one. I'm so mad. To this day. I'm
That's
like,
my
we would
dream to have
a
like my
character
own playable
in, like,
character.
yeah, bro, we would eat. And I was like, "God damn it, why didn't we go with the individuals?" But
yeah,
like that in itself is such an awesome feature thing. You know what I mean? It's to be able to, because a lot of the time it becomes your personality. People recognize you from that PFP,
yeah,
and so to be able
That's
to
so
actually
true.
control that PFP and you know play as it in a game, I think is, like you
yeah,
said, is
dude,
one of the
it's
biggest
so
features.
awesome. Like, and then you're giving like more value for the person that bought the skin. It's not just something that you could own or sell, but you could use it across different games. I think it's so cool, like for the player to have that experience. And it also incentivizes people to play other games because, like, I can use this across my 3 favorite games, Or like,
Yep.
oh, I didn't know I could use it in this game. Let me try the game out. I think it incentivizes a lot of that
Yeah,
too.
and it gave these collections some utility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these collections were just PFPs, and now they have like a playable utility within games.
Yeah. Gian,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on interoperability?
I think it's great. I mean, you could find samurai characters in Nifty Island and other games, and including
What?
Nitro League as well. We have partnerships with them. And anyway, at one point, Shrapnel wanted to integrate our stuff into their shooter game as well. I think
Yeah.
it's wonderful because it allows for much more creativity than what we have to offer. Like you as a found like us as founding game companies, we can only do so much and we can only hire so much talent.
Yeah.
But if you open up like sort of open source your technology and you build your fighting combat mechanisms and other people could use it, it'll create a much bigger gaming universe than we can imagine and sort of maybe that's the pinnacle to changing people's perspective on Web3 and finally cross the bridge over because they could take existing assets that other folks own,
Yeah.
buy them, and then create their own version of the game, right? Where AI is going, where everything's leading towards in the future and in very near future, you can create games out of your mind, and the computer would do all the coding, right?
Everyone's
You know,
dream.
I'm excited, honestly. I'm excited. I'm super for sharing everything, and
Yeah.
I think like you tell a great story, you make people fall in love with your characters, and then they're telling their extension stories out of your original stories, and
Yeah.
that's to me that's super fun. Like I don't know what happens at someone's house in a character. But this kid might tell a great story that people want to listen to, and that's like filler material,
Yeah.
right? That's just one example. So I'm excited.
There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot you could do with Web3. I think that's why I love it so much. It just opens the door to a lot of features for gamers, and I hate that a lot of people don't see that. The opportunities you have with it. There's a lot. There's a lot to look forward to. Um, but yeah, I love the fact that we can do that. I'm like with my collection, we're gonna be integrating into BR1 Infinite, and it's just so cool to be able to give that to my holders. And I don't know, it's fun. It's really fun to work with other projects, but I'm excited. Um, can you give us any more details on the kaiju collection for Samurai Saga? Like, do you guys have a mint date or a price we could look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, so I can't give too much details because still working that out. But yeah, the mint is coming up. Before the mint, we actually want to have lots of players, downloads, attention before we start dropping more characters. I don't feel
Uh-huh.
it's justified right now to add more characters without a product that the characters could live on. So
Uh-huh.
first is let's get the product out there. Let's get some characters, and then we'll have a combination of free kaiju characters for like social fi campaigns plus a mint that's very special to the community, which I'll explain in the Discord. Meaning, like, it's not available for people to purchase because we're in no need to take any more public money. I think like we have some pretty strong backers coming on the back
Uh-huh.
end, and we just want to build something that's super fun to be a part of without people dumping lots of money and then calling us scammers afterwards. Like I'm
Dude, that's
trying to avoid that.
that makes me bullish on you guys, because a lot of companies will just mint to make the extra buck. So it's really cool that you said that. You guys actually want to build out something but not have them pay any more money for it. That is incredible.
Yeah, we'll make our money. There's
Yeah.
sponsors, advertisements, there's merch, lots of ways we can monetize. So there's no need to just be so short sighted.
Yeah.
And then also like we'll give away like stuff like this, like samurai specific watches.
Oh,
Uh,
dude, I saw
Yeah.
the watch, man. I
yeah,
saw the
and then
watch. I love me a
same
good
goes.
Rolex
timepiece.
collab.
I mean,
Whoa,
we're
Joe boy. I
working
want to
on
afford this watch.
we're also working on like big collabs too. I mean, we're trying to get Reebok. We're in conversation trying to get like Reebok Samurai, have
Oh,
things like that while we launch the game. So there's lots
oh
of things.
snap.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, bro. I'm so bullish on bro. Look at how big this shit is on my neck. You know, do you know how long I've
Yo,
been
wait,
waiting for
come
this
closer.
moment,
Let's
fam?
see
Like,
it. Let's see
do you know
it.
how long I've been waiting for this? Like, I'm so bullish on Jian, on the vision he has on the Sam fam on Samurai Saga. I've been waiting so long for this, and now it's finally happened, dude. I am so excited. You have no idea.
4 is
I'm-
going to be the first to receive the first edition of everything, from
He
the
should.
shoes, to the watches,
He
to the
should.
characters, the kaijus, everything.
Well deserved. Well deserved, dude. Like I mean, his tattoo is the one that got me onto you guys to begin with. When I saw it, I was like, dude, ain't no way this fool just got, like, you don't just do that with any
Not
project,
fast,
right?
though.
It's gotta be
Absolutely.
it's gotta be something that you believe in, but something that's gonna like
Truly believe.
yeah. So I'm
And
like
believe in the team, the founder, all of it. And I think a lot of people over the next few months to the next are really gonna see why. I mean, if you just step back and look at Saga as a whole, as at the community, when it dropped, secondary volume, all of it, it just, all the pieces are there to something that's truly unique and truly gonna, I think, blow a lot of people's minds who have doubted. And I'm super excited to see that happen.
yeah. I mean, already with the current gameplay, and you guys didn't even implement everything that you have done already. So yeah, woo, I want to play again, dude. I want to play again. So
Hell yeah.
when can
Yeah,
we play again, Gian? I'm excited, man.
Give us like another week or so. We want to update a new build. There's a couple more like moves that they've added, and a few more characters. So I want to, every time we play and stream, I want it to be better than the last. It cannot be the same. I just have the standard I need to abide by. Gotta be way different, or at least like noticeably different.
Respect, dude. Respect. All right. Well, I think we are good here. We've had some alpha. We've got gameplay to look forward to. I'm super stoked about. Dude, Gian, I really appreciate you coming on to the stream, to the podcast episode. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate that too.
64 World, you too, man. I know you guys are busy.
Oh, of course.
Y'all are busy bees, bro.
Bro, we raced back here. I set my backdrop up mid while we were doing it. But
I was watching you. Been memorized by your lights.
I know.
But I think, you know what I think would be really dope? Like, if we all got back together, a little bit of the time after the next play test and kind of revisit what changed and, what we're more bullish on now, and just like an updated,
Okay, I am
really dope.
so down for that. We could set something up in like a couple months or in a month, whatever, and then we'll give some updates. But yeah, really awesome to have you guys on here. I appreciate it a ton. Look forward to more. Cannot wait for the playtest, another one. But Jian 64, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Well, you guys can feel free to hop off the VC. Yeah, we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have any questions in the chat, feel free to leave a comment. The video will be on YouTube, so if you guys want to watch it, if anybody missed it. But yeah, if you have any questions,
I'm gonna cycle that around like crazy.
Let's go.
And, I also got a bunch of clips like today. I got a clip off, and yeah, it's the fact that the episode will be up on YouTube, and there was a lot of YouTube questions coming in. I was really stoked to see that. But yeah, so this was a great. I'm glad we were all able to get together. I know Gian's crazy busy, so I appreciate you for that, and I appreciate you for having us, Ghost.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm excited.
Thanks again.
All right, guys. We'll catch y'all later.
Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Deuces.